Clearly, the auto industry is in transition as it cuts back on the number of traditional sedans that it makes and gets ready to produce more electric and autonomous vehicles. What does that do to earnings in the meantime? Joining us is Matt Delorenzo. He's with Kelley Blue Book. Matt, good to see you again. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Great to be here.
It is a transition period right now. I mean, Ford is targeting 2022 to be able to introduce some of these electric vehicles that it plans to produce. But in the meantime, what happens? I mean, they have to cut back here and there and invest an awful lot of money.
Well, they do. They're playing it out in terms of the transition because of their scale. Their biggest selling vehicle is a full-size pickup truck. And that's what the market's demanding right now, those and crossover SUVs. So in the short term, they've bet heavily on the truck market. I'm sure they're going to see some returns from it because the margins typically in that part of the market are a lot higher than they are in the traditional sedan market.
But as Bill mentioned, they either have to invest a lot of money or find some other avenue to the direction that the rest of the auto industry is going in. Does that mean partnerships? Does that mean mergers? What do you think?
I think in the short term or medium, long range term, they're going to be relying on partnerships. The deal with VW to use the MEB platform, which will be primarily for the car side of the business. And then they also have that $500 million investment in Rivian, which builds electric trucks and SUVs. So I think what they're trying to do is lay off a lot of development costs and infrastructure costs in terms of production facilities to these partners and hope that the demand for electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles rises to where they can make that switch over internally and develop and build those vehicles on their own.
You anticipated my next question. What do you think the demand will be for those electric vehicles? I mean, I guess, I don't know, it may depend on how old you are and your experience with those cars, right?
I think that's true. I think in the short term, electrics will tend to move quicker up in sales. There's still a lot of regulatory hurdles that have to be surmounted before we can get to full level 5 autonomous vehicles being on the road. Once we get to that point, then we look at how the ownership model is going to change. And if people stop owning cars or start sharing cars, there could be a drop in production, and that could have an impact on earnings down the road. They could be in a position where they're not building as many vehicles because not that many vehicles will be needed, since people will be sharing them and they'll be running around the clock.
So many questions, so many changes coming. We know that. Matt Delorenzo with Kelley Blue Book. Again, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.